been an exciting time. Obviously, an unusual situation. It's like you gotta have two jobs, but like I said yesterday, I think when you get here, you're just so focused here that you almost forget about the other job, because you're just so kind of trained in the process of what we do every day. And every day's Thursday, so we have Thursday practice and stuff, and then being able to, in some in-between time, whether it's recruiting calls or interview coaches, try to do that job as well. So, doing a lot of stuff going on.
How do you do that? Do you get up in the morning and say, okay, I'm going to dedicate this amount of time for this, and then you have to schedule your day a little bit differently?
Yeah, I talked to Coach early in the week, just said, okay, obviously the number one thing is Alabama winning this game, but here's maybe 2 hours a day where we're not doing something that wasn't okay that I work on. He's been great with it. He's been in a similar situation a number of times with other guys, so it's not his first time. Has this experience the last 3 years with Nick in Alabama, has it been what you thought it would be? Was it been different, Lane? How would you describe it? Well, it's been great. Obviously, the winning part of the success has been on board. So when I came here, I didn't know how long I'd be here. I didn't know how well we do for sure. But it's almost been perfect. Obviously, we would have finished things off the first year. Played better than the Ohio State game, but to win, your initial goal always is to win your conference. And so to win the conference 3 years in a row, in the most competitive conference in the century, has been a great run.
Are you a different coach now than you were when you started here?
Yeah, for sure. But anytime you go anywhere, you pick some things up. But obviously, to be with Coach and to learn from him, I said when I first got here, it's almost like I came here as a GA. Just get the notepad out, just like his first job, and just try to learn from him and see why he does everything. And I think it was really critical to stay longer than just 1 year. Because the first year you're kind of just trying to figure it out, and then you kind of the second, third year you start to see some things. Okay, now I get it. Now I understand why he does this. So it's been great.
It's been fun.
Yeah. We don't use that word a lot. But it's been obviously a great experience and learning to run. And winning, in my opinion, winning is fun. So it's been fun.
Lane Kiffin suggested that he doesn't think that Jalen can beat you with his arm. What are your thoughts on that?
I didn't know that, so I didn't really think about that. I think that Jalen has proved different. I respect Coach Free's opinion, but I think he's proved different in games, where he's made some big time plays, some big situations, and some big plays. Obviously, his legs help him. Again, he is, I talked about yesterday, he's a true freshman, so does he, do everything right? No, he doesn't. But I think there's some stage you can point to where you say, okay, he made some really good throws. Helping us win games.
Has he improved on his decision-making in terms of when to stay in the pocket and not to flee at the first sign of pressure?
Yeah, he has. Anytime with a freshman, that's an issue. And especially one that can run as well as he can. And, over in high school career, he's just been able to take out and make some good plays because he can catch them. So there's a learning process when you get to college, and another one when you get to the NFL for quarterbacks that, you can't do that all the time. These guys can catch you. Even there's been times where it talks about, okay, you've gotten away with that with some lesser opponents, but now we're going to play LSU or whoever it is, and these guys don't catch you. You can't just run away from these guys, so you really need to stay in there, until you can.
How much has he improved just in the last month of practice?
I think a lot. I think it's been good to kind of slow back down, where everything obviously is a game plan every week, but to have this month where you can slow back down, go back to some basic work on some basic things, I think it's been really valuable for him.
Was there a moment or two during the season when you just knew that he was the right man for the job, that he was going to be the leader of this offense?
I would say probably sooner than that. I think there were some times in training camp, there was one scrimmage in the stadium. I don't remember which one, in the fall. I'm going to guess it was the second time we went in there. So I don't know what that was, the second Saturday or something. And he just made so many unique plays versus just really good players on defense. They said, okay, we've got to figure out a way to make sure that we can hold offense to things that we can do. Because whenever you have a player that talented at any position, to me, you've got to figure out how can we make the system work so he can play. You don't want a player sitting on the bench that has that much talent.
Was that the moment for you when you believed he was going to be the starter?
Yeah, I think at that moment I knew he was going to be the starter. I just didn't know when it was going to happen, whether it was going to happen the next week or whether it was going to happen week 4 of the season. I think that it was kind of, you could tell, he was going to be special when was it. And the other thing that was difficult is that Blake Barnett was playing really well. So it wasn't like we didn't have anybody else. It's like, okay, we've got to make this guy the guy. Blake was playing really well, and Blake played well when he played a game too, before he transferred. So had Blake not been here, maybe it would have happened even sooner. But Coach has an old school philosophy that isn't good. It was different. Coach Carroll was always like, we had the freshmen toe really good. His team was play them right away. They're going to make mistakes. By the end of the season, our team was going to be better for it. And I think that really kind of was, if you look at Coach Carroll at one point, I can't remember what it was, but I don't think he had lost in November for 6 years or something like that. I think that was part of that. He would have some shaky games early, but I guess it was always about playing the guys that were going to be better by the end of the year. Coach is a little different. Coach is more kind of, okay, wait until they kind of earn it. Play the older guy first, and then the other guy beat him out, whenever that happens. So just different philosophy. So I think that was part of it too. Even though Blake was a freshman, he was a redshirt freshman, we were in the system over. So I think that was part of it too. Saying, okay, let's play Blake, and let's see what happens versus play Jalen and take the hits.